On today's episode, the Tesla Semi is spotted with self-driving hardware, a possible Cybertruck leak from within the Giga factory, and Tesla's got its eyes on Brazilian lithium. Photos recently surfaced on Twitter of a Tesla Semi test vehicle touring around Palo Alto, California, with an unexpected bit of equipment bolted to the front end. EV content creators The Kilowatts posted the images on February 16th, which showed the semi-prototype vehicle sporting a relatively discreet LiDAR device from Xenomatics. This is strange for two reasons. First, Tesla hasn't said anything about the Semi's full self-driving capabilities since its launch in December of last year, and while the company has said in the past that all production vehicles would have FSD capability, the Semi had yet to get any sort of treatment aside from the installation of the required hardware, namely the cameras. Secondly, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has famously been very critical of the use of LiDAR in the past, going so far as to say that any company relying on the popular mapping technology is doomed. Tesla has opted instead to go with a visual system as a result. And if you dig into what LiDAR is, you can see why Elon was so confident about his choice. LiDAR is light or laser imaging detection and ranging, and originally started its use as a surveying method for weather. Basically, a LiDAR sensor shoots out a laser beam and then counts the time it takes for that laser to bounce off of something and return to the sensor. This technology has helped us map everything from storm fronts to the surface of the moon and Mars. It's a very useful tool. But Elon is convinced it's a crutch when it comes to vehicle navigation and automation, because LiDAR uses a shotgun approach. An array of sensors shoot lasers in as many directions as possible, calculates the return times, and builds a map with that data. That's not a bad way to go about sensing road conditions if that was all we had access to. However, camera tech has gotten much better over the last decade, and as we humans use visual cues to drive, it makes more sense, in Tesla's opinion, to build a visual system that uses those same cues for automation. Now, this doesn't solve all of the issues with developing an automated driving system, but it certainly makes more sense. LiDAR can map an area in real time, but driving takes a degree of prediction that's informed by visual signals like four-way stop signs or traffic lights. Given enough time to work out the kinks, Tesla's camera-based system could be trained to use those signals, while LiDAR could never really operate like that. Okay, so if Tesla has been so adamant about not using LiDAR, why is there clearly a LiDAR device on this Semi in Palo Alto? Well, this time we actually have an answer from Tesla themselves. In response to the excited chatting of Tesla fans about the possibility of the company walking back their policy on LiDAR for their big Semi vehicle, the company came forwards with a comment saying the claim that Tesla may be planning to use LiDAR is fundamentally untrue. We regularly test our own technologies against other sensors to calibrate our camera, sonar, and radar system. And that makes a ton of sense. Just because Tesla doesn't want to use LiDAR for their vehicles doesn't mean they're going to disregard the technology completely. Tesla's system is designed to be robust in similar ways to LiDAR, so while testing their own hardware, why wouldn't they measure it against the benchmark set by such a well-tested and widely used tool? This isn't even the first time Tesla's fitted a prototype with LiDAR for testing either. This is a tweet from an EV blog called Whole Mars Catalog. Back in August 2022, they posted this image of a Cybertruck prototype fitted with the same or at least similar LiDAR setup as the one in the Semi images. People have been snapping shots of Teslas with LiDAR tech for years now. The company has been using LiDAR to set a baseline to compare their FSD development to for a while. The takeaway from these images of a Semi making laps around Palo Alto with a LiDAR should be that the company is actively testing their automation systems on that vehicle. We knew that was a major goal once they started getting the Semi on the streets. Even limited automation would take a huge load off of long-haul truckers. So don't be fooled when you see a LiDAR setup on a Tesla. They're not thinking of switching up their FSD hardware. They're making sure it measures up to the current workhorse of the imaging industry. Tesla decided to give us all a Valentine's Day present last week in the form of a goofy dating show spoof featuring their robots. The video, which was posted to the company's LinkedIn page on the 14th, was cute, but the real gift was hidden in the handful of frames that the gigantic robot arm called Joey 2000 was being featured in. The footage is a little blurry and does have some filters over it, but Joey seems to be some sort of manipulation armature, one of the robots responsible for maneuvering large, partially fabricated vehicle pieces from station to station. And attached to this arm is a frame that's generating a lot of questions about whether this might be a shot of a prototype Cybertruck chassis or not. Certain Tesla media outlets would lead you to believe that's what it is, at least. Again, there's only about 10 seconds where this piece is on screen, and we don't get the best look at it, but there are some things we can see. First off, the frame seems a little too big for any other Tesla vehicle, but it is hard to tell without a reference point nearby. There does seem to be some casted parts on this frame, which lends some credit to this maybe being a mock-up of the new Cybertruck frame. But there's some things about this frame that look closer to other models. So the next step is to compare this frame with some other Tesla vehicles, and we can start eliminating variables. This is a shot of the Model S chassis from a Tesla showroom. Strip the wheels and the mechanical parts off this image, and you can definitely see the resemblance. Plus, we know that newer iterations of the Model S and X use casted sections in their rear frame. Another point is the arm itself, which is clearly branded with the Kuka emblem, and astute Tesla fans are quick to note that there aren't any of these large Kuka robotic arms at the Austin Giga factory where the Cybertruck production line is being built. They do have some smaller arms for their Model Y line, but reportedly nothing like this big one in the Valentine's Day video. That doesn't rule out much, of course. We don't know everything Tesla is up to. There's just too much we don't know for us to make a definitive call here. We don't know if that frame is actually just a Model X or S. We don't know if it's a test frame for a Cybertruck or even some other project we don't know about. And we don't even know what factory this is in. There's just too many things this could be. Likely, the reason this is getting so much traction right now is that we know Tesla is deep in pre-production for the Cybertruck. They've said that they are aiming to start production this summer, so it's natural that everyone is looking for any peak of Cybertruck parts, no matter how flimsy. That's actually the only thing we can say for sure, that everyone is hyped to see the Cybertruck rolling off an assembly line. And while it might lead the community to rapidly tear apart a goofy holiday video just to catch a glimpse of what might be a Cybertruck, all we really have to do is wait. If Tesla can hold to its production schedule, we should be seeing a verifiable vehicle in just a few months. Something big is brewing for Tesla in Brazil. According to a recent report from Bloomberg, the EV maker is considering purchasing lithium mining company Sigma Lithium for about $3 billion USD. Sigma Lithium is currently one of the biggest extractors of the important mineral and have been in business since 2018. In fact, Tesla attempted to cut a deal with Sigma Lithium back in 2019 in order to gain access to the company's massive lithium deposits for their batteries. Currently, both companies have refused to comment, with Tesla's representatives going so far as to tell Bloomberg that these were only rumors. But it certainly makes sense. Aside from Tesla's previous relationship with Sigma Lithium, the company's site, one of the largest lithium deposits in the Americas, is located close to a major Atlantic port, making export a cinch, even if they can't ship it somewhere close like Mexico. Right now, Tesla is debating whether to build their next major facility in Canada or Mexico, and the Mexican government seems convinced Tesla is only days away from announcing the win for them. If that's the case, then this deal with Sigma Lithium looks way more likely to be a reality, as shipping raw materials to Mexico is way easier than moving them all the way up the eastern coastline to Canada. And, of course, it has been said a lot, but Tesla is really on the hunt for the chance to get into the lithium business. CEO Elon Musk has said repeatedly that Tesla's only choice to keep the cost of battery production down was to bring the whole cycle in-house by purchasing a mine and building a refining facility of their own. And we shouldn't forget that Tesla has a proposed lithium refining facility currently waiting for full approval in Corpus Christi, Texas. It's likely that the companies don't want to go public just yet because they're still in the negotiation process, and that's fair enough. But this deal certainly seems like it would make a lot of sense for both companies. Tesla needs lithium, and with the EV maker's plan for expansion over the next few years, no mine would be smart to turn away such a steady customer. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, so sign up with the link down below at theteslaspace.com. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.